Welcome back to a new Food Reviews with Fatty. As always, I'm your host, Fatty, aka Jay. If you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know, you know? So, I don't think this is going to be a something that you would just eat because it's cold, like chili or something like that. But we do have a bit of a cold spell going on here in Florida. It's actually pretty cold today during the daytime, which is kind of slightly unusual, but not completely unusual. Yes, believe it or not, Florida does get cold sometimes. Usually this time of year. So since it was a little cold and I didn't feel like doing a whole lot of cooking, I decided to step it up a notch. We're going to do something slightly different today as usual. So I happen to be over by Arby'S. Yep. I don't go to the ghetto one no more, but I don't think it's that ghetto anymore. I actually stepped in there one more time just to give them one more try and see if it was the ghetto Arby's or not. This is right off 66th Street in Olmerton. This is the ghetto Arby's. I decided to give them another try because I just wanted to see if it might have been a fluke. If you saw my video from back in around Thanksgiving of last year, I did make a comment, a reference to the fact that the Arby's that I was there at, it was really bad. It felt real ghetto. And I know I lived in some pretty rough neighborhoods. I've seen some pretty rough places, so to speak. And yeah, anyhow, that's not here nor there. I just want to see if they did a good job on the order this time. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got. This is the new King's Hawaiian Fish Deluxe. King's Hawaiian Fish Deluxe. And so these sandwiches run $5.69. After tax, I believe it was like $6 and some change, whatever. I know they charge like 30 cents, whatever. And of course, as always, I'm probably getting a free sandwich out of this deal because, yes, they did make a mistake again. I bought the King's Hawaiian Fish Deluxe. Oh, no, they didn't make a mistake. Never mind. There's two of these sandwiches. So they have the Fish Deluxe, King's Hawaiian Fish Deluxe, which is actually the fish, cheddar cheese, actual piece of cheese, lettuce, tomato, and tartar sauce on a King's Hawaiian roll. Then they have the Fish Deluxe, but it's actually with a regular bun. It has cheddar cheese sauce on it. And that's what I didn't get, the cheddar cheese sauce one. So let me redact that last statement, okay? I did not mess up. It was an accident. Or they did not mess up on the order for once, which is really nice because the last couple times I've been there, it's been a pretty kind of horrid experience. And they did mess up. So now, this is a sandwich that I wouldn't have every day because not only is it fried fish, but it's also kind of expensive. And here's going to be my rough patch right here. The fish. It's not done. It's not done. It's way done. It's as if it's been sitting on the heater. But we're going to go ahead and try her out anyway. Why not? The reason why I say I wouldn't have this is because it's actually really high calorie. This sandwich itself is almost 700 calories. I chose to do this because it's something different from Arby's. And I figured, new year, maybe new Arby's. So, let's find out if I'm right. Obviously, they don't make the fish fresh. That's been made clear because the fish is cold and hard. And just as a disclosure, I only live about 10 minutes away from this place. And they were just now putting up my order when I got there. And don't mind that extra noise because our apartments don't do anything normal. They're guys here, ride on golf carts. They sometimes tote large washers behind them. Our management is very sloppy, which means that you're going to see a change of scenery soon. I don't know how soon, probably sometime this year. And when you do see it, you'll know because the whole thing's going to change. Sometime this year, I'm going to be making a nice little move to a new location with a better layout. That's going to happen sometime this year, if all goes well. So don't quote me on that one, but accept it as it is, and let's get back to the fish. That's all I can do, accept it how it is. Now, it's weird to have tomato on a fish sandwich for one thing. And the cheddar cheese, the tartar sauce kind of overpowers it, but the fish doesn't taste bad. It's just, you can tell that the consistency of an older fish patty. And I know this because I worked at McDonald's as a teenager. And there were times when this thing looked horrible. So let's go ahead and give her another little rip. I will say, though, and this is one thing that I will say, the tomato with the cheddar and the tartar sauce, they blend together really well. And I like that. The King's Hawaiian roll gives it a nice sweet taste. That's impressive. The fact that they got it right was impressive, too. I mean, if I told you how far out of my way I went for the other Arby's that isn't the ghetto one, it'd blow your mind. And the only reason I say they're ghetto is because they treated me really badly at Thanksgiving. The girl acted like I was in the wrong place that was working there at the time. The manager, she was just really nasty in a way. And not nasty like nasty looking or like not clean. Just like I walk into Arby's and she acted like I was out of place. Like I wasn't supposed to be in the Arby's. Like I can't ever want to order a sandwich from Arby's or something. And that's just no way to be as a manager. You don't treat people that walk into your store as a manager like they're suspect. You just don't do it. But then again, if, I know something about this also. If these restaurants would pay these workers what they're worth, especially managers that take care of their paperwork and basically put their livelihood in the manager's hands, a lot of these restaurant workers would act better. Not just managers, but employees always. Employees also, not always. My apologies, that was a minor speech pathological issue. I don't know. Just trying to use big words now. Without further ado. Now, the one thing I want to point out right away, I like fish sometimes. And I'm trying to work my way up to liking fish a little bit more by trying like salmon and other kinds of fish just to see what my kind of fish I like is. I don't know what they make this fish out of, but I have to say the fish is kind of bland. But with all the toppings and everything together, it actually makes this fish really good. Considering that it's definitely, if you see that there, you can see the burn-looking area where it was clearly on a heater. It may have been there for an hour, I don't know. That means there's one thing I can't say right now. And what I can't say is that there's no fresh fish on the line. However, as long as this has been in the situation there, as long as it's been in the warmer, I can't say one thing, and that, you know what that is? The fishes are done, man. And why would I do that? Because it's a Steve Coogan classic. If you don't know who Steve Coogan is, Google it. And if you're Gen Z or below, really Google it. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Steve Coogan. The dishes are done, man. Anyhow, back to the sandwich. Okay, so for the value, for $6, $7 for a sandwich, I'm going to go ahead and call the value. Out of 10, I'm going to say that this, I'd say it's probably a 7. If you really like fish, probably an 8. But my number would be 7 because I don't do fish very often. For the visual, it does look exactly like the picture, so that's a 10. I almost don't even like to consider the visual all the time because it's clearly, most everything I've gotten looks about like what it's supposed to look like, but that's why I keep that. You might hear a lot of 10s, but you're going to find a lot of lower numbers whenever it doesn't look like it's supposed to. So, however, this is where it gets cool. As on the overall right now, this sandwich, for me, I would have to say, for the taste overall, it's definitely like an 8. If Arby's was definitely trying to make sure people didn't taste the fish, but enjoyed the ingredients, they did a good kudos. Like, it's definitely a sandwich. Sorry about that. All right. So this is definitely a sandwich for people who don't like fish, but want, or who like fish, but not much. What I mean is the sweetness of the bun, the sweetness of the tartar sauce, the lettuce, tomato, and the cheddar cheese. They all do a lot of the flavor profile. And the fish, I can barely taste. Now, that's the one thing that always also bothers me about certain kinds of fish, is I really don't like that fishy taste. Like, the one thing that bugs me is like when I work at a company, and I've had this happen on several occasions in different companies. But see, my thing is I'm all about DEI in the general sense. Like, if I'm at work, I can't expect everybody to not eat what they want to eat because we're in the same lunch room. So diversion, equity, and inclusion definitely falls into place there. But I'm not trying to be like a leftist kind of left-wing liberal nut or anything like that about it. I'm not even sure what side I stand on anymore. But I will say that it drives me nuts when somebody comes in and instead of like just finding a place where it doesn't bother everybody, they put fish in and they microwave the fish. Now you got that fishy stink smell going all around the place. That drives me nuts. Otherwise, I can handle fish if I don't smell it. And this does a really good job of that because you're smelling the other things that are on it as well. But like I said, I mean, it's a really good sandwich. It's really refreshing. I'm having a hard time not taking another bite right now. So like I said, if you like fish, but you're not super large on just getting regular fish, give her a try. It's actually pretty good. So that's all I really got to say about that. we are going to ask Mr. Predictno and see if Mr. Predictno can actually predict today's little fallout. Mr. Predicto, does this King's Hawaiian fish deluxe sandwich suck?
There is no doubt.
Alright, he thinks it sucks, so. Well, I already gave my review of this, so I'm done with my portion of the day. So I am going to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who's liked and subscribed and rang the bell. Everybody who hasn't subscribed yet, please do take 3 seconds out of your day. It definitely helps out me and the channel on the YouTube algorithm. It definitely helps out the channel specifically on the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to figure out the new algorithm for 2025. And I got to be really honest, it's really tough in some aspects. So I still got a lot of learning to do. But yeah, I mean, as far as this goes, if you want a good sandwich and you're just in a hurry to get something in, after work or on lunch break, this definitely would be a viable option. Like I said, you just got to make sure and do your due diligence when you go into order, because sometimes they mess up stuff royally at the Homerton and 66th Street location in Pinellas Park. I can't tell you. It's like going to a McDonald's. They can spot out the guy that shot the United Healthcare CEO. But by golly, if you wanted them to get your order right, not a hope in the world. Again, if these CEOs and all these big companies and franchisees of these companies would pay their employees more, they wouldn't have that problem. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say the other thing that I have to say before I go out. Before I finish the video here. If you have a product company that's either a food product or a non-food product, please do reach out to the channel at foodreviewswithfatty@gmail.com. Again, that's foodreviewswithphatty@gmail.com. What we got going on right now is we got a sponsorship offer. I'm more than willing to negotiate with any of your companies for not only paid sponsorships for the channel, but I will also not only let everybody know that you are on the channel, sponsoring the channel, but also I'll do honest food reviews on the channel. I'll do promotions on all my social media, not including the food reviews with Fatty, but everything reviews with Fatty, and get the name of the product out there much further. Currently, my subscribers are at 2,000 plus, working my way to 2,100 subscribers, which definitely could help out your companies greatly. So what I can suggest is to reach out, foodreviewswithfatty@gmail.com. I'm more than willing to work out a negotiation for any of your products, whether they be food products or everything else. I'm more than willing to put those up on both channels. So that's 2 YouTube channels. I do have about 20 social media accounts total between all of the social media, not including LinkedIn, where I have 10,000 or more connections on LinkedIn alone that do see those messages when I post them. And I am also looking into some scheduling software that I plan on starting using whenever the opportunity does arrive, should I say, for promotions. So please do reach out. I'll be more than happy to speak with you. I check the emails probably 2 to 3 times a week for the Food Reviews of Fatty channel. So reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to speak with you. This address, the email address, is also in the description. It always is. So if there are any other business inquiries out there from any food companies or any other companies that would like me to do an honest review on one of the channels, whether the food reviews or everything reviews, please do reach out. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and call it a day because it is a day. And this is my new review for 2025. With that being said, I'm Jay with Food Reviews with Fatty. If you know, you know. If you don't know, now you know. And if you don't know about this, now you're going to know. As always, I'm going to call it a day because it is a day. And as always, now you'll know it's Food Reviews with Fatty. Out.